Advertisers. If something is said with which you disagree, please call us during the program in order to help us balance comment.
Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Perlberg and Terry Campion.
Good evening and welcome to the Off the Lip radio show. We're broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California. Very special show tonight with my co-host, Mr. Terry Campion, who's here on time.
Check that out.
That. We're very honored to have in studio the principal of, I think that's correct, the principal of Titans of Mavericks, Mr. Griffin Guess, who's been here. This is his third visit to us, to the station, and being on the show, and we're always grateful for him to come in and let us know what's happening with the Mavericks contest this year, and we'll talk about that and a lot more. Also joining us, as a surprise, I think Mr. Verosco's been here a few times too.
Welcome back.
His third or fourth trip down here. Flea's in the house tonight. He's going to be talking about what his job is up the street there, Half Moon Bay, when the contest happens, which we're all looking forward to with El Nino right here on the doorstep. It looks like it's going to kick off any minute. So without further ado, I want to mention one thing. I got a text this afternoon from I got a text from Mr. Bob Pearson. I want to let you know, Griffin, that your board is going to be ready in 2 days.
Hey!
So Bob texted me and goes, make sure you let him know, make sure you let Griffin know there's 9.8 gun, Maverick gun. We'll be ready in 2 days. So
yeah.
He gave you a day. He's going to be ready Wednesday, he said.
I'm sure it's going to collect a lot of dust.
Yeah.
You never see its way over there.
You have nothing else to do right now, right?
Well, it's a pleasant surprise.
Also, before we get cracking, I want to mention, remember our fan Cave, the guy who came from London?
Yes.
Got married last weekend, so I want to wish him all the best. Him and his wife Angela got married in Westmeath, Ireland. Nice part of the world. I also want to put a shout out to Mr. Darren Hall, who was listening from Ludgershall, Wiltshire, England. Bunch of limes listen to the show.
International this show is, isn't
Very
it?
international.
Yeah.
Also want to mention that you haven't been going to yoga, TC, so
thanks for that.
You need to get your fat ass to the gym.
Hey, just like Griffin's busy, I was busy. I'm not as busy now, and I'm going to be back.
Okay. Griffin, it's your show tonight. Where do you want to start?
I don't know. Where do you want to start?
I think we're going to start with the website.
There you go.
What the heck? So people can go on the website right now and understand or follow what we're going to be talking about tonight. And the website is titansofmavericks.com.
There you go.
Am I correct?
Yep.
We talked a little bit before the show about some of the obviously the contest is coming up with El Nino. It looks like it's going to be happening, but you got some special effects and some special equipment that was very fascinating. That the camera you talked about out in the foyer there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think just backing up, to your conversation about just where we are now.
Yep.
Where we've all evolved, because last year we didn't run. With the weather not being able to permit a Mavericks class swell to meet the criteria that we frankly want to run the right way.
Right.
So we've had a lot of time to kind of develop and grow and evolve. And I think that's always part of, anything you want to do really good, you keep going. You don't really set a standard and stop. You want to kind of make sure, especially that type of arena, you can really kind of go with whether modern technology is advancing opportunities or just to, think outside of the box to do things where you do a lot of research, you focus on what people are doing, and then you think about places in which you can create improvement, but yet stay consistent to make sure there's a show. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, people want to watch these guys perform on one of the greater stages, kind of known to man in a natural setting. So we've really stepped forward, but also stepped a lot further back to assess and then re-enter with opportunities to just excel the fan engagement and just the experience for these people that they'll be able to see like they haven't really been able to experience before. So in part of that,
And you're talking about the television viewer.
talking about anybody in the
Okay.
world
Right.
that will tune into redbull.tv
Okay.
to watch this live.
Right.
And then post our live component. We have a national broadcast component that will have a bit of a different flavor.
Right.
That will be a true 90-minute show. That will be like really more in depth of a polished, produced package,
Right.
which is exciting too because a lot of pieces of that won't be within the actual live property. So
Right.
you'll if you're a real true fan, you can watch both and feel like imagine watching the Super Bowl live and then they repackage it with some
Right.
like compelling post interview. You really get to spice up
Right.
what
The
you
ultra
could-
slow mo.
Sure, you can watch the real 10,000 frames for 12 minutes straight.
Right, we're talking about it. Because you're bringing now the contest is half a mile out to sea, but the way you're doing it is going to bring the athletes directly into everyone's living room or computer screen.
Sure,
It's almost like they can touch them.
right.
But
And
where before the contest, it's been so far out.
yeah, I mean, I think they did a great job in sideline reporting, and I think anybody's format. But just kind of, at least from my experience and the team's experience, is coming from a real show environment.
Right.
Is how to marry a show with a live sporting event,
Right.
and usually those two remain singular and parallel, and they exist. It's very hard to cross them up, especially with something that you can't program like the Grammys, where you're dropping every February 12th on
Right.
CBS.
Right.
This is something that you literally have to pretend you're ready every day, and with kind of,
What?
to my, I guess, discredit, or I guess you could say one of my biggest weaknesses is like the artivist in me, where I always feel like I can evolve it and push it until someone tells me I'm just purely too far.
You were saying earlier you've grown from 25 to 50 employees or something. It was,
No, it was about,
5
we had about 5 to 8 on it, and we've grown handsomely to about 25 around the clock.
because to pull this contest off and with the way you're going to do it, and we'll talk
Right.
more about some of the fan interaction
Sure.
and stuff you're going to do, but to pull it off, is it? I mean, a couple of days seems like such an undertaking for you guys to get organized and get it set up. It just seems like
Right.
Are you ready for that?
I'll give you an inroad to that. One of those we can talk about later, but like in LA, there's a company that's been building our stage for the last 12 months. So they have a giant, 150,000 square foot warehouse in East Los Angeles, and they've been building this meticulous stage for the live show. Because we're going to actually be creating a sound studio to a degree that's on our base camp.
Right.
So that has from televisions built into the walls to the ability to have full track lighting, interview environments. So it's like, while they're not up here, they're somewhere else creating this vision and pushing the boundaries.
And would that be like a concert stage type situation, or is it a modular thing?
It's a good question. Imagine taking, I'm not going to use the aesthetics of the Oprah Winfrey Show or Ellen DeGeneres, but take the environment of true sit-down conversation
Right.
and implement that into a live studio environment that's form-fitted to our brand. And on our Facebook and Instagram, we teased a few of the walls and stuff so you can see kind of the style and direction. But those are the environments where Daryl, alongside the Committee 5, will be in there advancing these conversations with our athletes live. So these guys will be coming back and forth to the degree of that true hands-on experience to your point.
Right.
You've produced shows like Coachella, right? The Grammys, or been involved with that?
I've been involved with them. I have not directly produced them.
Right,
It's
but very
Golden
involved with-
Voice
how-
and CBS.
how
But
is
do I know
how-
CBS people
No,
very well? Yes.
How is this close to something like that, or
Yeah.
is this its own animal?
I mean, I think like using the Grammys as an example, if you have a performer and the performer wins a Grammy, you know that they're going to be performing at 7:15. They have a 10-minute set from earbuds all the way down to their, back line and their vocal tracks being bumped out to their box, and they perform 2 records. But then they're going back on stage at 8:17 to receive the award by Lionel Richie.
Right.
It's a package deal because it's
Right.
organized. This thing
Is
is a moving
right.
machine that, as much as you could prepare and produce, guys like Flea and Jeff say it's its own animal, you need to work around it. So that's something that's really challenged
The
me.
flexibility of it.
Right, is I've always considered like, well, I can project the idea because it's tangible resources being put into it to create the art. But not if the thing's really pissed off and it's going to just really disrupt
Right.
the flow of what you're producing in your
Wow.
8 hours. So.
Self-admittedly, you said to us you've become grayer, Flea. And you, right? Right?
Yeah.
There's some gray hair you got
I'm
going
with
on
him.
there.
I'm with him, though.
We all are. Why is that? What have you been doing?
Oh, just everything that's going on with Titans and Mavericks is just, it kind of makes me sick to my stomach sometimes just thinking about it, because it all has to come together, and it is its own animal, and it's never been like this before. So there's so much more pressure, for us on the C5 being the voices of, some heavy calls, really heavy calls, and just all the components. When I was talking to Griffin, we're talking about 400 people working on this event all in one day, coming together and working.
Right.
I'm just going, geez, like this is
Yeah.
crazy.
Can you give me one example of what's different from today as of when you were at your prime, when you won it 3 times, or the first time you won it? What's the difference
Well, it's just
between now and then?
way more grassroots back then.
Yeah.
We're just getting started. Just set it up on the bluff. It was, super easy, mellow. You could call it the day before. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now we have to think 5 days out. And really
Right.
take a hard look at these things
Right.
and make sure that we're calling it right. Because we're not going to call it
Right.
on mediocre surf.
Well, it's,
So
the,
what-
it's the
Right.
difference between an easy up tent and the stage that you're building.
Well, not only the stage, but they're like 30 different satellite trucks, production offices. I mean, our event director, Darren, does this around the world.
How are you
right,
going
and
to
surf.
get?
So he's
I mean-
like, you're scaring me because I got 40 people. Our production has about 65.
Is this the
you
largest
know.
production for a surf contest?
I will probably go on the record to say this is.
it's pretty.
Because there's about
huge.
400 operating people, about a core group of 25, 5 different divisions of an additional 30, 40 that make up that group.
Right.
And then you add 50 volunteers, all of the agencies. I mean, the U.S. Coast Guard has done a phenomenal job of positioning multiple meetings. I mean, I've been part of the tabletop exercises with Adam Rapogel. I mean, you just, when you look at the bandwidth
Right.
of the organization,
Right.
I think out of the economics being substantially just going at it to perform this thing at a level, I think people's time and energy and resources, down to even Daryl's, ownership on this Keystone turn with it, I think everybody is coming together. It's hard.
How-
You can't do it alone.
Do you have an idea of, in your back of your mind, how long it's going to take once you call it? How far are you calling it from out? 7 days? Because you got to get not only the athletes there, but you got to get this whole thing set up,
Sure.
which is a huge production. I mean, it's not, you can't do it in 24, 48
Well,
hours, surely.
I'll tell you this, because I'm sure there's fans listening to the event. I don't think we're in the place to give away our actual schedule of how we're doing this, but I would say that we want the fans to be excited
Yeah.
and to be kind of hit by it,
Okay.
especially for the live folks, especially because I think with Red Bull's reach and their, support and position to help us drive this thing on the live side and make sure there's no default on the
So this is-
digital broadcast
Well,
side.
you should break
know?
a record this contest for live feed, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Our website is certainly getting attacked by the SEO businesses trying to tell us, I can help you do even more, because there's so much people are coming in by the herds. It's pretty
Okay,
exciting.
that website is titansandmavericks.com. But this portion of the show is being brought to you by Ventana Surfboards for the latest eco-friendly surf supplies and apparel, hollow reclaimed wooden surfboards and body surfing hand planes. Lately, they've been using incredible woods from the Monterey Bay Aquarium, the Santa Cruz Guitar Company, and even Nobel Prize-winning author John Steinbeck's house in Pacific Grove. Check out Ventana Surfboards to learn more. There's an off-the-lip discount. Simply use OTL10 at checkout for 10% off everything, even surfboards. Free home delivery in Santa Cruz and free U.S. shipping. Go to VentanaSurfboards.com. Craftsmanship, responsibility, and adventure. We'll be right back on this very short break.
Whole body cryotherapy is a full body exposure to sub-zero temperatures to decrease inflammation, increase cellular survival, decrease pain and muscle spasms, and promote overall health and wellness. It is not a medical procedure in the US, but a non-invasive option for people seeking faster recovery, more energy, relief from aches and pains, better health and sleep, even skin beautification and weight loss. Widely used in training and wellness centers and spa-like settings throughout Europe, it's now here in Santa Cruz at Santa Cruz Cryotherapy, located at 1220 41st Avenue, Capitola. Book your appointment today at santacruzcryo.com or call us at 831 288-2882 and mention this KSCO ad and receive a 10% discount off all package deals. And your introductory session is just $35.
Hey, it's Julie from Toyota and Sign of Santa Cruz. I want to introduce you to our new slogan. Why drive over the hill when the big store is right next door? The all-new Toyota Santa Cruz. You have to come check out this dealership. It is amazing. 50,000 square feet of state-of-the-art service and sales. Over 500 new, used, and certified pre-owned cars and trucks. And our number one commitment is to save you time and money. And you know what else we're proud of? Our customer service. And that's why you guys keep coming back. We take care of our customers. So get down there, check out the dealership, buy a car or a truck, make me happy, and have a great day.
Equalization of the opportunity.
And we're back. This evening on the Off the Lip Radio Show, we have as our very special guest the principal of Titans and Mavericks contest, Mr. Griffin Guess, along with one of Santa Cruz's, what would you title it? One of Santa Cruz's favorite surfers, I would believe, right?
For sure.
For sure.
Legacy.
Yeah.
The legacy.
Yeah. The many faces of Flea.
And now we've got the gray hair, like he's turning gray like we are, TC.
He's got kids.
That's true. Flea is in the house. Mr. Daryl Flea Roscoe is here, and we want to talk a little bit about the criteria of the athletes it takes to make it into this contest. Can you talk a little bit about that? I know you got the Committee 5, and I'm sure that wasn't smooth sailing. I'm sure you just sit down and pick off like 25 guys. I'm sure there was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
right?
there's so many, you know what I
Right.
mean? 50, 60, it could be 100 guys, you know, and girls too. We look at them as well.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, you know, basically commitment to Mavericks, charging 25-foot waves consistently, sitting there where it counts in the bowl, not on the shoulder, and just commitment to surfing big waves all around the world as well. And outside of that, just basically the character off the field, you know, out of surfing, how you treat people, how you treat others, and really just how you kind of how professional you are,
right.
you know. And that's a big one, you know, for me, because you see these things and people are just can be jerks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't really want that part of
Right.
the organization.
Right. So now now we're able to see these athletes on that stage in our living rooms, as it were. We can have a strong idea about their role model qualities. So that's the type of person you want, not just surfing.
Yeah, and you know, and
Right.
all this production and things that are going to be coming out is going to
Right.
show those sides of people, you know,
Right.
what they do, how good a person they are, what they're into, stuff like that.
Will we get to see that? You know, the life of Sean Dollar. Are we just going to see him surf, or are we going to have like a little, you know, a background video of you know, Sean Dollar or whoever else, Skin Dog or whatever?
Yeah, I think I can chime in there. I think we've, you know, as this has evolved, we've been able to really kind of see these personalities and these type of characters that have come out, and we've been fortunate that the great thing is you almost can't create you can't script these stories. These people are like real.
Right.
And I think if you live in like Rhode Island and you're, I don't know, into something different, this is quite compelling. And these people like Ken or Mark Healy or
Right.
Carlos Burrell or anybody of these guys, they're all dynamic in their own regard.
Right.
So they have these unique kind of stories to be told, I think. And I
Right.
feel like Mavericks is the ultimate altar of their profession. And I think of their meter of risk and courage and all these things that
Right.
people take for granted. So I think our ability and what we have done is we've gone in there and we've created these pretty compounding stories so fans can know who they are, and they might like to find favoritism in some versus others, but at least we're giving people
Right.
the opportunity to self-discover those interests versus a jersey with a number and like they're quarter mile away and you just never get to
Right.
hear them.
Yeah.
And whether they win or lose or they're good or bad, I mean, it's almost kind of like as the C5, the Committee 5 have told me, it's anybody's day out there. And I think that's what's kind of cool.
Something
There's
interesting
no-
about the format you guys are doing, which I've been just thinking about this whole time, is historically big wave surfers have been kind of left out of the sponsorship dollars.
Sure.
And I feel like you're going to be able to create a personality, and fans could be created. Because it's not just that number of some guy dropping off a quarter mile off the beach. You're actually going to, it's almost like how they do driver introductions at NASCAR.
Can I add to something?
Yeah.
Add to something? How are you going to, like the fans, right? How are you planning on selling the Smith family in Wichita, Kansas
Sure.
to watch it and come back next year and watch it?
Sure. I think if you had the Smith family sitting there and there's 2 boys and a girl and their parents are, late 40s, whatever, it's just let's make them up. I think giving them enough of different stories that all have flavor and taste for each person so they can walk away and 40% of the family never wants to hear about this again, but the other 60's kind of interested. They might even not even know what it is, but watching it is so simplified. But yet if there's a connection to the people, you do your job, because in the end of the day, that is what it's about. Like, if people knew, I'm not calling skinny out here because I'm bipartisan or whatever to all these great athletes.
Right.
I mean, here's a guy who's full platonic family mode, right? Who's probably one of the older guys out there still. And he is kind of drinking the fountain of youth because he just still looks young. He's still vibrant. He's still a great athlete. And if I had to dig a foxhole, I'd put him in it because he's just kind of durable that way.
He was in that chair last week, by the way.
He's an underdog.
He says he's going to win it.
Yeah, he wants to win it.
He wants to win it.
Yeah,
He's not just showing up.
Well, I've heard the same from Zach.
He'd better want to win it. Yeah, right. Like, why are you out there?
Yeah,
you know? Like,
right.
Something else I wanted to talk about was the takeoff box. It's almost, and Daryl, you can help us with this. So there's almost like an end zone at the peak.
Yeah.
And if you take off in that end zone area, your wave will be scored. But what brought immediately I shot to my attention was the wave Chris Burdish caught after he got caught inside, and he was over on the shoulder, and he 2-armed one paddle into one, caught it, and went through the heat and won the contest. Is that situation out of the ballpark now for something like that?
I mean, I think it's definitely different, a little bit different now. Basically the bowl is the touchdown spot. And basically Mavericks sucks out so hard that you can't really take off directly in right under it a lot of the time. You got to take off in the sweet spot of the bowl. And he caught that wave in the Lates Bowl. We call it the Lates Bowl. It's kind of flatter, super easy. That's where everyone just sits on the shoulder and catches waves when, they're just learning Mavericks and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot different now. Like, the judges, we have the great the best judges ever. Noah Johnson, Richard Schmidt, Steve Coletta, Osh Bartlett. We got Dave Schmidt.
Brock
Little.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the right group that actually – those guys sit in the bowl. Then they sat in the bowl.
Right.
So they know what's up. You know what I mean? So that's really exciting. And so we'll just have to see how it works. But, I mean, for the most part, the guys are going to have to sit in the bowl and get nuts, if they're going to want to win.
It makes a great element because the guy who's 1 point out just can't stand up and ride a shoulder. He's got to paddle out to the bowl and catch a scoreable wave.
It's obvious. It's totally obvious. If you're sitting on the Lates Bowl for the whole heat, just catching those Lates Bowls,
you're not going through.
It just doesn't look good. You know what I mean? Like, come on, anyone can do that.
And let's put it this way, because I certainly don't have the decades of knowing what that's about, or these judges that know what they're doing, like Schmidt and Little and these guys. But what I do create a bridge analogy with is think about in the NFL when these wide receivers catch or not catch a ball. What's the difference? Their hands in the right place.
Right.
Now, you've got the freak who could do the one-hander, the helmet catch, or whatever.
Right.
But the difference between true receiver talent is right in the kill box in their glove. And the difference, and I almost look at it as unless you're in that exact spot to be the best performer, the highest level, on the biggest day, in the most scary conditions with the world watching, it's important to be in the right spot, and that's his point.
And
I like this.
And another note too, the judges are going to be looking at, if guys are just going in the bowl and just getting pitched and charging and they're taking off in the wrong spot and just trying to go totally nuts, to win the contest. and not necessarily taking off where they could actually make the wave. The judges are going to be aware of that too. You know?
Are the athletes going to be nervous as far as the whole world watching? When you won it the first time, you said to us, you just went out there and surfed with your buddies and kind of just you guys put a contest together. But now you guys are on the main stage of surfing. Are the guys out there going to be thinking about that? Like they're in Wimbledon or they're in the, they're in AT&T Park.
It's exciting right now in big wave surfing, with all the new waves coming out and guys charging around the world and,
And the emphasis on paddling.
The emphasis on paddling is really cool. So, I mean, they're going out there to
they can have nerves because of the TV, or they just don't. Once you get out there, you
I
don't
think
they're
just so comfortable, in the psyched on surfing big waves. They're when you drop in on a big wave like that, the feeling you get, they're addicted to that feeling, and they just love it, and they're good. So,
well, I think it's going to be amazing for the winner. The potential lucrative sponsorships could come from this national exposure that has not been seen for a lot of these guys. It's getting more and more in big wave surfing, but a guy could be sponsored by Buick after winning this contest. Who knows what happens? Yeah. But the opportunity is going to be there.
I picked up the paper the other day and I see Pete's Coffee is sponsoring the biggest drop. I don't go to Pete's Coffee thinking about surfing, but are these companies that not affiliated with surfing are getting involved? Why?
Well, I think it's our approach since kind of the genesis of this thing is we're, tailored to the more broadband business, that's out there. And I think that Mavericks, as much as it is on the endemic side, is surfing business. And don't get me wrong, I've had discussions with, a lot of other endemic businesses, but, these consumers that they have are always yearning for that next thing that's kind of on the tip of evolution for them. And I think because Titans of Mavericks has such an incredible call to action and it's culturally driven, it's not sports driven, but yet it's a sporting event. I think it crosses interesting boundaries for, I hate to say it, but, experimental minds and old box blue chip brands.
Hey, it's working for me. If I think of Pete's Coffee now, I think of Mavericks.
Right. And I think with Pete's Coffee, I think what's interesting is that, for a Berkeley-based rooted business to never truly, in a sense, sell out and always kind of stay California driven, I think the biggest essence for me is always start with the importance of, the locality and then try to grow it out there. And don't get me wrong, myself and Brian and many others, we've been in New York running around in Madison, and part of my past experience with a lot of these companies has been those businesses. So I think they're excited what Griffin's got on his mind to they can't wait to see it, and I think you guys will be surprised of what you'll see in 2017 and 18 as the brand grows, because I frankly feel they're gonna go, oh my gosh, this is that thing that these other things were then, and this guy's out of the curve, because, our deal with Pandora is phenomenal with these stations with Cole and Nick and Derek and Colin, being able to listen to what Titans go through and what psychs them up. You ever wonder when you're watching the NBA Finals, what LeBron's really listening to? Yeah. You might think it's Jay-Z or Watch the Throne, but you never know. It might be Sinatra or Beatles or something. Yeah, that's his game. You know what I mean? So it's I'm curious to what Cole or Carlos listened to. So I think Pandora created that discovery platform, and that thing's been very successful for them. And it's exciting to see these sponsors come in and get underneath the brand. And
sky's the limit.
Which is harder to for you as the principal to tame, as it were, a surfer athlete or Kanye West?
I don't know. I think they're all different, right? Everyone wants to win.
They all want to win.
And I think when you're at the top of the game, you're always hungry.
Okay. Now, my other question to you is, since this came up, you started, 3 years ago with this project?
2014.
2014.
Yeah, I'd say 3 almost.
What's been the biggest hurdle for you so far?
I think the biggest hurdle for me, my villain, is the clock come game day.
Yeah.
Because the insatiable appetite of delivery of these compelling content segments we've built. Everyone's going to know it. It's exciting I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah.
Down to what happens in the water, what the Committee 5 guys are doing with interviewing these athletes, just the crossover hybrid of show versus sporting venue.
Yeah.
And knowing that we only have 7.5, 8 hours to do it all.
Have you had a trial and error? Have you had a trial run like a bank robbery? You got to set this whole. Have you had a trial how long it's going to take to get this equipment in place?
Yep.
The athletes here.
If you believe it, we've actually totally done that. We've done.
No, I believe it. I'm
We've
sure
sat
you
in
have.
the channel in our working waterway zone, and we've actually done the runs to the docks to XYZ, and you do the math, and then you use different engine speeds, different vessels. We've even done tests on our competitor vessel, because what's different this year is everybody's together. So we
On
have one
one
massive boat that's got, food and drink and chiropractors and towels and everything they'd ever want to have. They got board racks. We even have a board caddy vessel that's actually there. So if someone breaks a board, you have an immediate transfer versus taking 12 minutes to receive your board 1,400 yards away. So there's things that are what you consider like almost military grade redundancies to ensure my villain, the clock.
Yeah.
Right.
Fleet, take yourself out of the boardroom for a second, out of this, the management aspect of it. As a surfer, who do you think is going to win this year? Who do you like? Can you say? You can't say.
Yeah, nah, you've got
back
Jamie Mitchell is charging pretty hard.
Okay.
That's
He
good
seems to want it pretty bad.
Yeah, the Eagle Scout.
I always feel good about Nick Lamb. He's also charging pretty hard around the world.
Yeah.
And
Sure dresses.
if I had to pick an East Sider, it'd probably be Augie.
Okay.
What else do you want to know?
That's good. West Side.
Yeah, you never know though. Tazzy could come dark horse from outside and roll in on his twin fin.
Yeah.
Well, and I also like the judging format is perfect for Tazzy. Or I would say it's perfect for everybody that has the guts to take off in the peak.
Right.
And then obviously.
But you also got like Dorian too, who is
Yeah,
married to
see,
that thing. Like he'll be even behind it.
Yeah, I think it's everyone has their day. You know what I mean? And I think Dorian got a little scared, that last time, and it kind of threw his game off a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
he's coming back pissed.
So but if he has one of those days where he's just like psyched and tuned in,
Trophies
it's so hard to beat.
But even like Tyler Fox,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
he's consistent.
Yeah.
Stand
Maybe
up,
that's what you
backhand
need.
barrel.
Shane Desmond freaks me out too. If I was looking at it, because he's an animal.
Pig dog in the barrel.
There's so many guys.
Yeah. Anybody can win it.
Yeah.
Right? A little bit of luck, but you need a bit of luck.
Yeah, you just need basically the better the waves are and the more consistent the waves, and there's plenty of opportunities for everybody.
Yeah.
Then it's really going to separate people.
Okay. You listen to the Off the Lip Radio Show right here on KSCO. We're on Facebook, Instagramming, we're tweeting. Here tonight with Mr. Griffin Guess, who is the principal of Titans and Mavericks. And also in studio is Daryl Flea Roscoe. This portion of the show has been brought to you by Suga Yoga Mats. Manufactures premium quality yoga mats made in the USA from 100% recycled wetsuits. The name Suga evokes the two worlds. It straddles surfing and yoga and was developed and thrives in Encinitas, California. Suga worked extensively with engineering experts to recycle these petrochemical-based landfill-clogging neoprene monsters into highly functional instruments of yoga bliss.
Did you find out if they make extra longs
No,
yet?
I'm going to find out for you tomorrow.
on,
Get
buddy.
yours today at Suga, S-U-G-A, SugaMats.com. It's Neil TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. Be right back. Do not go away.
That was good.
I want my extra long. The great thing about that whole concept, by the way.
This is Brother Timmy,
And Cleo from Cleo's Corner at Puna Hawaiian Grill.
featuring wraps, teriyaki bowls, plate lunches, amazing and creative salads, vegetarian and gluten-free options, and over 20 different types of poke, all made to order, fast, fresh, and healthy. And what's your favorite, Khalil?
The chicken fingers.
Located at 120 Union Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Call us for takeout at 831-426-PONO or check us out on the web at ponohawaiiangrill.com. We put the ono in Pono.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz, California. My wife Diane and I are experienced realtors who know and live at the beach, and we've been bringing the coast home to you since 1982. We'd love to help you sell or buy your slice of paradise here on the Santa Cruz coast. Please give the beach guy a call at 831-818-7064 or give Mrs. Beach Guy a call at 831-818-5939. Also, please drop into our website at lifesabeach.com and check out our available coastal properties. Remember, no one knows the turf Near the surf, better. Cowabunga.
Attention surfers and paddleboarders. Don't let cold water or cold air take you out of the water for 5 to 6 weeks. Protect your ear canals with custom-made earplugs. The Listening Stack in Capitola is now offering custom earplugs molded to fit your ears perfectly, comfortably protecting your ear canals from the harsh elements of the Pacific Ocean. Stop messing with universal earplugs that don't work and try something that does. Mention Off the Lip Radio and receive an extra $20 off any custom molded earplugs in our store. The Listening Stack is located at the corner of Capitola Avenue at 41st. Listening Stack. Protect, enhance, enjoy. 831-498-9890.
And we're back with the Off the Lip Radio Show right here on KSCO, where they do ask you to listen and be heard. In studio tonight, honored guest, Mr. Griffin Guess, who is the principal of the Titans and Mavericks show, which will be coming to your living room, to your computer screen, very shortly. Also in studio is one of the Committee Five, Mr. Daryl Flea-Verosco. We're always honored to have him in studio too. And Griffin, the last 20 minutes of the show, where do you want to go?
I think
where should we touch on? You want to talk about the sponsors, or you want to give them a?
You know what? We'll leave those folks get the love a lot.
Okay.
I think we can touch on them, but I think one of the things to tell the fans, I think, is really important that sometimes is secretly provided or unprovided is the call alert system, so people understand that format with us. I think that's really kind of truly important. So we, like most events, they just say it's green, we're going, and then they, 48 hours later they generate the event. Our call systems are a little bit different. We monitor these things because the sizable increase of what we're doing, just I call geomapping resources, right? All these things coming from all over the country all at once.
Right.
So, we've got, yellow, I think it's actually yellow, orange, red, and then green. And between our Facebook and Instagram accounts and Twitter to that fact, but really we drive those and then it's synchronized with our .com so people know about it. We don't disclose the wind and the size. We just notify people up and down. So imagine like a alert system of a hurricane or tornado, but it's spun out into a degree of making sure these fans know. So, when we raise it, it doesn't mean we're going to pull the trigger tomorrow.
Right.
It's just insinuating activity into the discretion and to ensure we're going to run the correct event, which is really on the shoulders of the Committee 5 and our meteorologist for that fact. It's a unified decision. So we just want to make sure the fans understand that, when it turns red, when it turns yellow, I'd pay attention. But when it turns red, its potential's moving closer.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that's clear.
Well, and that's important because this is like a day you want to call in sick to work. Like that's the importance I think for the consumer that's going to watch this is that it's a take a day off and watch the whole thing.
Are you going to close your store?
I'm not going to close it, but I'm sure I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
Pop up a TV.
Best piece of advice Marissa's given you.
When are you coming home? No.
Change the diaper.
Yeah. Don't you have a new kid? We've got a new one. Don't you have a new one?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have a new baby.
Yeah.
Name?
Yeah. Grayson.
How's your boy doing?
They're both good.
Yeah.
They're boys.
Yeah.
And I don't know how she does that.
Yeah.
Because it's just I think this stuff is hard, man.
Yeah.
I think the advice is focus on what you're gonna do because people will figure it out later.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I like because ultimately that's really good advice. And I got this same advice from a lot of our staff too, and everyone helps keep Griffin's mind on the rail tracks straight because sometimes it deviates. But I've learned, and having guys like, Flea and Jeff and Matt and Sean and Ion and even the AMI folks, Cassandra and Brian, and everybody has a collective effort to ensure the success. Now, maybe these guys don't yet see the result, but that's not their problem. It's truly mine. But
I bet you can't wait for the result.
I'm excited about it.
And how is the town of Half Moon Bay going to benefit from this
so yeah,
this year? So
it's different, obviously, is that we announced it. We weren't doing the festival in 2014, and without divulging in the details, I think that in order in the modern day of a business I do know very well, which is the festival and music side of the industry, it's truly important, and whether fans are listening or not, it's truly important to ensure that they have a payoff. And a payoff comes in different forms. And you can go ahead and look at Coachella as an example, who my friends do run and operate that.
Right.
And I've been there for many years and have, clients at CA, all these big agencies. I'm involved in a lot of it, and even in its early age of AEG's inception. But that's not the point. Point is that experience, food and drink, and the community payoff of everybody involved walking away wanting to come back next year. And I think with the level of what we were trying to accomplish with the challenges of land ownership, just didn't come together to fit the right pieces. And I respectively look at that and I go, there's always a good reason for things not to happen when they weren't supposed to. But we are making extraordinary efforts to create really big environments that will allow an incredible opportunity. I don't want to give anything away, but boy, when it lines up, you think it's a sick day, go ahead and take 3 days off. Nice. Because you're going to have a real experience. Okay. I think that is really what I'm excited about down the line. But this year, where we've really shifted the interest is because we feel like the broadcast has such a significant pull in popularity, especially regionally, especially within Half Moon Bay, is that all the local merchants and establishments, restaurants, bars are going to be streaming this, into the compliments of our group and Red Bull. But they will kind of create community gatherings, promote it, bring people together, and kind of almost have more of a family environment with, this experience. And I think that's kind of cool because that place does carry the value of Mavericks. Awesome. And it's cool. And even like places like his skate shop could put up a TV and promote it. We actually encourage businesses to do that because we don't want anyone to think that it has to be a specific way. We just want to make sure that they have the promotional materials to help ensue that. And a lot of businesses actually locally in Santa Cruz have done that. We've got places in San Francisco. I mean, I could tell you places all the way from Oregon, New York. Miami's got some hotels doing.
Is that something we could look on the website and see what, like, say restaurants?
Right. We haven't yet put up where and who exactly because we want to make sure we remember that Mavericks is a national affair. This isn't necessarily something a mile away, but we do want to make sure the importance of people's payoff to come to Half Moon Bay and experience its culture is really important. So we've gone to lengths with the community and the organizers and city council and everybody that's part of the commerce there to make sure that they really are the, I guess, igniters of this concept, which is really exciting. So of course we've started there and gone out. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we make sure everyone's taken care of at home and then go outwards.
Like anything new or contest or somebody taking something of it, controversy is going to be there. It has been there. How long off the starting gun goes off after the first heat is cold? Do you think that'll all dissipate into the ocean?
Yeah, I think pretty quick. You know what I mean? The excitement will just
take over.
Yeah, take over completely.
That'll just be swept and gone, right?
Yeah, well, it is all about a wave,
and it really matters like how this is all put together and done in that day. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's the final kind of product, and I think to his point and your guys' point, I think the challenge is too of that. Because of that controversy or, Mavericks is so commonly opinionated without risk, I think, for people that, I've personally been out there enough. I get it. I would never want to be like those people.
Yeah.
But I respect it. So I have an understanding of what it means, right? So I think that we should really bond together to celebrate it because this just might be the first shot this sport has at being something that's worthy of Wimbledon, the Masters, and we can get it on the map.
Yeah,
and we need everybody together to do that.
And stay positive.
With all these large names that you've signed as sponsors and have yet to sign, right? How many people do you think or expect that will be watching this contest? Do you have a forecast about?
Yeah, I do. I don't want to give away. I mean, it's
just hypothetically, how much do you think? How many people think we're going to watch?
A lot. I mean, it's hard to explain because I just think the power of
millions
of people will watch.
And you prepared for that. I mean, yes, before the website shut down and
we've got multiple.
They fixed that
redundancies and it's true. High def through this Red Bull player. They're the leaders of technology in that space. So that's why we're partners with them, as we believe in their expertise in that side. Let us produce our show, and they're a fantastic delivery system, and they have a bandwidth of tens of millions.
They'll nail it. Those guys are great. I had a quick question though, because I had a guy that I was talking to recently that says, I'm taking my boat out there, and so I'm a boater, so I started talking about his boat. I'm like, that is not the boat to take out there, and historically we run circles, Coast Guard, Harbor Patrol. Everyone
Sure.
tries to keep. Is that changing? Is there any?
Yeah, I mean, again, on our site, we've posted, U.S. Coast Guard documents for our event, and, we have a fantastic relationship with them, and they've created a, working environment zone
Right.
for us to be able to use our, many cameras and do our job to ensure this thing gets to everybody.
Right.
And that zone is kind of protected in order to have, first and foremost, all of our safety measures in sight, because
Okay.
that's
Right.
key.
All
So, water safety is, I think, 16 personal watercrafts. It's a lot. So
Right.
that channel has to be true and entirely clear.
Yep.
Then you've got the competitor vessels, media boats. You have just different vessels in that zone. And
Right.
then you've got a gap on that exterior that is a buffer for the Coast Guard to operate and monitor.
Right.
Okay. And then outside of that, relatively close as we've wanted it, is we've got all the charterers and folks that want to come in and see it. So they're going to be put into a priority rotation
Okay.
and do these circles. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This portion of the show has been brought to you by TC. This is for you, buddy.
I'm ready.
It's time for you to get back there, my friend.
I'm ready.
You've been slacking.
Oh, jeez.
The portion of the show is brought to you by Hot Yoga and Aptos, who offer so much more than just Bikram yoga. They have hot Pilates, hot kickboxing, power flow yoga, and barefoot boot camp, all in a spotlessly clean 1,500 square foot studio. If you just want to try it, they have a New Year special of $49 for unlimited classes for 30 days. Check them out at BikramYogaAptos.com. I went this morning, TC.
That place kicks butt. It's
Bikram
awesome,
yoga.
and it will kick your butt. If you want to try to get fit,
It hurt.
good luck.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to one of the, we lost a good man from the west side at Circle Market, Sang.
Oh, I heard.
I
It's
just
so
want to
sad.
give a shout out to
Please
him
do.
and his family, because
Okay.
he really helped us all on the west side at Circle Market. We grew to love
We
the guy.
dedicate the show to him.
Dedicated
Neil-
to Bruce at Circle Market, Sang,
He's
man. He's a
dedicated-
good
You know,
guy.
I saw a great
Neil
post
TC
from
will be
Matt
right back with
Collins
this very
today
short break.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, he was great.
Yeah.
Really good man.
We'll be right back. Thanks, Chris.
Hi, this is Jeff Warnerhalder from North Bay Ford. Proud to sponsor the Off the Lip radio show. We're here to support the local surf community with a full inventory of trucks, hybrids, and plug-in hybrids. Come see why the F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle for 39 years. We have the perfect surf vehicle in stock, the new 2015 Ford Transit van. We have a model that'll fit your needs. Come to the no-hassle, easy place to buy a car. No stress, no drama. We make it easy for everybody. We're locally owned, locally operated. North Bay Ford at 1999 SoCal Avenue or www.northbayford.com.
Chill Out Cafe on 41st Avenue, Santa Cruz is not just a block from some of the world's best surf, but it is also where you can go relax and order the tastiest grub before and after your sesh. Plump burritos, fresh salads, sky-high sandwiches, and a superb selection of hot and cold drinks. They have something for you. Go to chilloutcafesantacruz.com to view their menu, and to place your order to go, call 831-477-0543. Chill Out Cafe, where they roll the fatties.
And we are back for the last few minutes of the Off the Lip radio show, broadcasting on KSCO. We are streaming live. The show is available also on YouTube. Right after the show, we're on KSCO AM 1080, FM 104.1. Griffin, how you got a couple minutes here? How do you want to finish the show? And is there something you want to tell the fans out there?
I just think
Make sure they go to the website. Mention the website
Yeah,
at least
it's-
50 more times.
everyone knows.
It's TitansandMavericks.com.
It's full of viewers. And, these are social, people paying attention to that. And, through that, there's all sorts of discovery what we're doing. And people can even buy apparel now through our website. And, we just put our VIP tickets up for the after party and closing ceremony so
Okay.
the public can actually participate and be
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I
And,
mentioned that. $100 is.
yeah, it's around like 100 and change. But, yeah, they basically get T-shirt, signed posters, free food and drink. Part of it, they get to meet the Titans.
Oh, so you get to
It's
mingle with the
cool.
athletes. That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's just so it's like you feel like you're
Yeah.
part of it. You
Yeah.
don't get there's no like ultra VIP. You can be anybody to go. That's a
Right.
fan. And I think
Right.
that's important for. I think it's actually refreshing for the athletes because it's not loaded. It's like true fans.
Right, true fans. And how many is that? Like a limited deal?
Yeah, it's limited because the venue is limited. So
Right.
it's like imagine a really good after Oscars party.
Mhm.
Of course, you can't have everybody, but
You took
first
a-
come first serve.
Right,
basis.
You took on a huge event here, a huge task doing this. Has it grown exponentially since you started?
Yeah.
Are you having fun? And do you regret it?
No, I don't regret it at all. I
Okay.
think, shaking Jeff's hand and being entrusted that way and getting guys like Daryl on, and I wouldn't want to do it another way. And Sean Dollar, really, in the end of the day, being a really good friend and since the beginning, and him motivating this thing. If it wasn't for him, it probably would have never even have happened.
Okay.
And
So thanks to Sean.
going through with him with his neck
Right.
issue and being there, and like just the oddity of all that.
But wasn't it Sean Dollar called in last night with a crank call?
Last week.
Last
yeah.
week.
Yeah, he
Okay,
crank called us.
Mr. Goody Two Shoes, isn't that good? Yeah, he crank
His
called.
real side.
Yeah.
But no, I
All
think
in good fun.
I think
Yeah.
the takeaway is I'm a surf fan, and I'm excited for the athletes to find themselves a real career. Because before I was even here,
Yeah.
dealing with other people that had high net worth, that were, exquisite talent in these markets of baseball or whatever it was, these guys, what Flea's done for decades, it's a huge risk.
Yeah.
And it was always hard for me to understand the difference between these people doing what they do and why these guys don't get what they deserve.
Yeah.
So, okay, if I got to come in the middle and create a frenzy of opportunity based on fans loving this,
Yeah.
the benefit in the end of the day is ultimately those men and women
Yeah.
that will risk what they're doing in front of the audience. I think that's
So exciting.
that's the boomerang effect, and I hope to see
Well,
it.
and I love
We've
Flea. You're like, Augie's a pick of mine to win it. Augie doesn't even have a sponsor.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? And
He
so,
will after he wins
Yeah,
it.
I know.
right. That's the point of this. Is not
my
only
East
are
Side-
you
he's my
creating
East
this
Side
media
pick.
circus, you have a potential to make an Augie a star.
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
Griffin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Flea, congratulations to all
Yeah.
the work,
Yeah,
all the
this
work
is
you got.
great.
You put.
I'm
the
excited. I
definitely-
can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm
This
hoping
is-
it's next
this
week. I don't know
show-
if you are.
This I think
2 weeks.
I think Griffin, this show has straightened a lot of things out that we didn't know. We couldn't put it all together, and you came on the show
Sure.
tonight and kind of put it all together. Where we now like, man, I want this thing to happen tomorrow morning. I'm stoked to wait for. it
Well,
to
I'm
happen.
looking forward to a follow-up show after the event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
We
that'd
can
be really
critique it.
cool. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
for
figure it
sure.
out, and we can talk about it and get really, feel this thing.
Yeah, we
Wanna
appreciate letting you guys have us on here
Yeah, of
and,
course.
and speaking to the voice and
Yeah,
keeping it true.
absolutely.
So.
I want
Thank
to thank
you.
Chris, our engineer. I want to thank my sponsor for sponsoring the show. This portion of the show has been brought to you by Star Benny. TC.
Woohoo!
Not sure I'm going to go there tonight. My son Quinn is over here tonight.
Yeah, my daughter Jessie's here
Yeah,
tonight
we're going to
too.
go a little sushi, I think.
Family.
A little sushi
All right.
made with
All right.
Quinn. And want to thank, who else do I want to thank? Oh, no, next week's show. Bob DeNike and Rich Novak from NHS.
Heavy hitters.
Week after that, we have Bruce McPherson, former Secretary of State of California and former surfer.
Yeah.
I think he still surfs.
He calls himself a surfer still.
I think so. Then we also have Homer Henar coming on the show. Homer's
Awesome.
coming on.
Bringing the dog.
And the man,
Skylar?
Yeah,
who may
Skylar's
be
coming.
the man who may be the greatest talker and surfer from Santa Cruz.
ready for this one,
above
Flea.
and beyond of all time. The guy.
I'm sitting.
I love you, man, but you can talk.
Ready?
Mr. Marcel Soros is coming on the show.
Stop it. No, that's going to be great.
This has been Neil TC with the Off the Radio Show. Thanks, Griffin. Thanks,
Thank
Flea,
you.
for coming on
All
the
right.
show. I want to thank our audience. Without them, the show is not happening. I want to thank our worldwide audience for listening. Congratulations, Cave. Thanks, Darren, for listening. We'll see you next week with another show. Good night to you all.
From Capitola to Carmel, Red Hot News Talk, AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz.